beautiful day out. Got that nice fiery ball in the sky there. So we're gonna enjoy this. Today we're gonna keep on working on this passenger side. We're gonna take this door off. We're gonna make it right. So you're gonna wanna stick around and see how we do this, because this door is coming off. So the intention is gonna be to get this door off and work it on a stand. We'll block it out and we'll see where all our problem areas are. And in the last couple of videos, you also saw how we worked over this gap and the other gap. So we're gonna get that all cleaned up with some filler. And also, we got a little bit of welding to do. And we're also gonna seam seal the inside of this right here. So here's the door hinges. I wanted to get you guys in here and show you. I rebuilt these hinges a while ago, put them back on. This is the pin, okay? And when you install them, install it with the pin. The top one needs to install from the bottom up, and the bottom pin needs to install from the top down. What this is gonna do is allow you to get your door adjusted using the bolts on the door and also on the chassis. And then when you go to take the door on and off while you're doing bodywork and paint, all you have to do is pop these hinges out and your adjustments stay the same. You only have to adjust it the once. It'll save you a lot of time. I also wanted to show you this handy tool. I just took a 2x4 and I used my router and I carved out a groove all the way around to match the plate. So that just locks right in there. And then the cool thing is, you just slide that in under the door and you can lift up the bottom of the door and put pressure on it. That way you can knock those pins out. If you have a helper, they can stabilize the door to keep it from tipping over. So there you go. Now you can see the hinges and the pin, the top one. It's got to go in from the bottom up, because if you go from the top down, you'll be hitting your fender. Okay, so make sure that one goes in this way. The bottom one can kind of go in either way. I think it's easier to go in from the top down, because when you drive it out, you can have room to swing your hammer with a punch on the bottom here, but you need room to swing. If you go this way, you're not going to have room. So we have the door off. It's on a body stand now. Let me just show you what kind of work we need to do to this door to get it ready to put back on. So on the bottom side, I do have to curl this lip over just a little bit more from the door skin. So hammer and dolly work on that just to get that to come down nice and tight with the door shell. Got some spot welds here that need to happen to connect that skin, weld it to the door all along the bottom. A little bit of work over here. So we'll also seam seal this edge all the way around. One thing you guys didn't get to see is the repairs that I did to this door shell. So that original skin came off and this whole bottom edge needed rebuilt. So I just made me a template, kind of cut it out. You can see the weld there where I rebuilt this whole bottom corner, and actually this whole bottom lip under the skin needed replaced. So I welded it in. A little bit of work on this side, wasn't terrible over here, and put the new skin on. So this door is getting worked over pretty good. Got some sound deadening material inside of here. It's the peel and stick weather seal, rubberized weather seal from big box store. So got that in there for sound deadening. Of course, had the tracks out, cleaned them up, lubed them up, put them back in. So let's get to work. all my spot welds taken care of. Grinded them down nice and smooth. Used my sanding disc. Got to start on sanding off the coating. The next step is going to be to sand this by hand around this lip with some 80 grit, and then we're going to use some fiberglass filler just to go in and fill in some of the imperfections from where I welded and adjusted the door gaps, plus where these little spot welds are. That fiberglass filler is a sealer. It's a waterproof compound, so get that all sealed up, especially like right in here. See if you can see that, where the welds built up. That fiberglass filler will fill in all those little imperfections, seal everything up. And then once that's done, we'll get it sanded smooth, and then we'll work on getting some seam sealer in here. So that edge is all sanded smooth. Put a coat of self-etching primer on there. I usually like to use epoxy, but I didn't have any in a spray can, so this was easy. It'll do the trick. Just wanted to seal up that metal where I had sanded it before I put down any of the fiberglass filler or seam sealer. So next, what I'm going to do is take care of some of those rough spots where I did the welds. I've got some Duraglass here, which is pretty good stuff, I think. It's a short strand fiberglass filler. It's waterproof, so it'll seal up those pinholes and you won't have to worry about it. Plus it'll smooth everything up. And actually this stuff blocks out pretty good. I do usually coat it with some Rage Ultra or something like that, a little smoother filler. But here's another thing. You guys, these are quick sheets, and these quick sheets are awesome. Basically you put your mix on there, and when you're all done, all you need to do is tear off this top sheet and throw it away. It's got all your mess on it and it's gone. These things are pretty cheap, and there's a bunch of sheets on there. Saves a lot of time, and I really like them. So we're not going to need a whole lot of this. Remember, we're just going to build a little bit of filler onto the door gap sections, the front and rear section of the door where we build it up with weld. So this will fill those imperfections. So we don't need a whole lot. Alright, let's spread some filler. Push it in there nice and tight, make sure it fills those pinholes. So I'll worry about the front side after we flip the door. I got the filler all sanded down, smoothed all those little rough spots out real nice, and then I actually masked the door and threw on some seam sealer. What kind of seam sealer do you guys use? I haven't done a whole lot of this, and this is the seam sealer that's in a tube. Comes out of a caulking gun. And I didn't know if maybe the brush-on seam sealer would be a little better choice for something like this. There it is without the tape. Seam sealed edge. I don't know, this stuff just seems to kind of booger up on me sometimes. It's like you got one shot at wiping it smooth, And then after that, it just kind of runs on you. See, like that? It's all wrinkled, and you just drag it instead of smoothing it. So I don't know if there's a better product out there to use or not, but if you guys know of anything, just throw it down in the comments and let me know what you think on the seam sealer stuff. I'd sure like to get the right stuff before I do the rest of the car. So now we're just going to wipe it down, and we're going to shoot it with some epoxy primer. Here we go. Alright, so that went pretty good. The primer that I'm using is a PPG product. It's called CRE, corrosion resistant epoxy, and it's an industrial grade epoxy. So the guys down here at the local auto body shop turned me on to it, and I did a lot of research on the internet, and it seems to be pretty good stuff. It's made for high salt corrosion resistance in industrial areas, and it goes on pretty thick. I compared the build on that epoxy to some 2K, and it's pretty comparable to a 2K primer, so I'm going to try to use it. It blocks out pretty good, actually, so I may just stick with that. We'll see when I actually get the block sanding, and maybe I might need a little more build, but so far so good. Let me show you what we got. As you can see, it goes on pretty good, but I can get this PPG locally, and I just really like that extra corrosion resistant factor of it. So that's going to do it for today. I really appreciate you guys coming by, checking out this channel. If you like what you see, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell so you don't miss anything. As I said, I'm just an everyday guy out here in the garage trying to bring you some good videos, so hopefully you enjoy them, and catch me next time.